Welcome to the show. It's your girl Sarah right here on Relax Radio, and I'm super excited to be here on this beautiful Wednesday morning. All right, now you have nothing to worry about because we're talking about how the London Bridge is falling down, but you don't have anything to worry about because it's not actually falling down. But obviously, what happened was it just got stuck. Okay, so don't worry, everything's under control. But I wanted to talk about the London Bridge and how it got stuck because this happens quite often, right? And it's not just something that happened on Monday, but in fact, something that happens quite often. And I want to talk about all of those as well because there is a lot of history and there is a lot of reason as to why it happens. So let's discuss all of that on the sunrise because I'm here to keep you company all the way until 9 a.m. All right. Now, if you want to share some of your thoughts and your opinions with us, well, you can actually do that. You just need to get in touch with me and share your thoughts and opinions. That's all you have to do. It's really very easy. All right. So just text me on 078 let me know your thoughts, let me know your opinions, let me know what you want to share with me. All right. And don't forget to go follow us on our socials either. You can like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And make sure that you're always informed and updated about the very latest, not just here in the United Kingdom, but in fact all over the world as well. Okay. So don't forget to do that. And don't forget to download our app either, which is available on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. That way you can actually make sure that you're always informed about the very latest in terms of science, technology, health, education, whatever it is that you want to be informed about, you can be informed about all of it. All right. So don't actually forget to do that. And before we head into the conversation, I want to very quickly, remind you that I would love to hear your thoughts and your opinions. Join the conversation live, share your thoughts and opinions because that's what I'm here for. All right. Now let's actually head into a conversation about the London Bridge. Now, the reason I wanted to actually talk about this, obviously, is because it got stuck on Monday. And that was a big problem because it caused a lot of traffic and it caused a lot of inconvenience for people, right? Because the bridge was actually stuck in open position, which basically meant that people couldn't get across the bridge and go about doing the things that they would have normally done if the bridge didn't get stuck. All right. So the London Landmark, which happens to be one of the several bridges over the River Thames, which connects both the central and the southern parts of the city, was actually scheduled to open on Monday afternoon to allow a large, tall wooden ship to pass through, right? Now, this happens quite often every time, we have large wooden ships passing through. What basically happens is they open the bridge so that they can let the ships pass through, right? However, this time when they opened the bridge, what happened was instead of closing after the bridge passed, it was basically stuck in this position for a really long time, right? Because it was stuck overnight as well. So all of these people basically had to sort of stay there that whole day to cross the bridge. Basically, that is what happened, right? Now, the 127-year-old bridge had been closed to traffic and pedestrians after this technical failure that left its bascules unable to close properly. And that meant that they were stuck in the race position from around 3 p.m. on Monday. Okay. So they were stuck in that position from around 3 p.m. on Monday, right? And the issue obviously caused a lot of traffic problems for several hours, which only largely managed to be resolved by around 9 p.m. Okay, and this is according to Transport for London travel update. So for 6 hours rather, they were stuck in traffic because they couldn't get traffic moving, and it was a big problem, right? And because there are so many vehicles on the sides of the bridges, it was obviously very tough for them to get them to move, right? So that is what that was about. And images from the scene on Monday afternoon actually showed long lines of traffic on both sides of the bridge, which is actually owned and funded by and managed by the City of London Corporation, right? And a spokesperson for the City of London Corporation actually told media that due to a technical issue, the Tower Bridge is actually currently stuck in a raised position, and that they were working very hard to resolve the issue as quickly as possible. All right. So that is basically what happened. And if you actually think about it, it's quite funny, but also at the same time, it's like so much of inconvenience inconvenience, right? Imagine like you're in a hurry to get you were in a hurry to get across the bridge, and then it just decides to get stuck in the middle of something important, like, oh, okay, so we're guess we're just going to be stuck in traffic right now then. So basically that's what happened, right? And London's Tower Bridge is actually reopened to traffic after becoming stuck for almost 12 hours. All right. And the bridge actually reopened to traffic at 1:45 British Summer Time on Tuesday, which meant that even though it got stuck on Monday, they could actually fix this problem on Tuesday, right? And a City of London Corporation spokesperson actually said that the Tower Bridge has now reopened to road users and pedestrians. So they also obviously apologized for any inconvenience that was caused by the technical fault yesterday, and that or rather, on Monday, and that the issue in fact caused major tailbacks in central London from about 2:30 p.m. on Monday. Okay, because you saw that there were so many queues that were building up on both sides of the bridge, and so many traffic issues as well. And a spokesperson from the City of London Corporation, which manages bridge, actually, they said that investigations into the failure were actually taking place, but obviously the source of the fault was still unknown, right? So still they're trying to figure out what exactly happened. And to be quite honest with you, this actually isn't the first time it has happened, because it was previously jammed in August last year when a mechanical fault meant it remained lifted for more than an hour, right? And this is the first time it happened, so make sure you stay tuned, because obviously, we have a lot to be talking about. But until then, we're going to head into a small break, and after that we will be back to keep talking more about this. So until then, make sure you stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. It's your girl Sarah right here on Relax Radio. Super, super excited to be here, because we're having a very important conversation about, or rather, we were having a very important conversation about the Tower Bridge in London, right? Which got stuck on Monday, and how that caused a lot of inconvenience, a lot of traffic as well, and which actually managed to be fixed yesterday, and how that was almost like the talk of the town, if you know what I mean. And That was, a big problem. And the reason it's so, the reason I wanted to actually talk about it, obviously, is because this isn't the first time it has happened. So last year in August as well, this took place, and the Tower Bridge actually got stuck, so this time what happened was they basically opened up the Tower Bridge to let a big ship pass through. However, when they were trying to put the bascules down, the bascules were just stuck in the raised position. So that is what happened. However, that is what we're talking about now. I want to very quickly remind you that you can get in touch with us. You can text us and call us. All you need to do actually is just text us on 078 to share your thoughts, to share your opinions with us, because we would love to know what you have to say about it. All right, and let us know your thoughts and opinions on this as well. And don't forget to go follow us on our socials. You can actually be a huge part of this show if you go follow us on our socials, because that way you'll be the first to know about the very latest that we talk about. All right, you can actually follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please don't forget to do that, because that way you can share our videos with your friends, with your family, and help them stay informed and updated as well. And it's going to be absolutely amazing. All right, so don't forget to do that. And you can actually download an app which is available for free, and which you can download as well on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. That way you can actually make sure that you're always tuning into the conversation and letting us know your thoughts and opinions on the latest that we are talking about. All right, now let's actually I want to quickly, divert from what we were talking, because I need to tell you about how there is, in fact, code red for humanity. All right. And the reason I want to talk about this is because the IPCC recently released their climate change findings, and it was a big problem, right? And the reason it's such a big problem is because, we had so much of time to actually fix the faults, fix the things that we did in terms of harming the environment, in terms of polluting the environment. However, because we didn't make those changes that we had to, because we didn't make that effort to actually change and to solve this crisis, what actually happened was that it got much, much worse, right? And these findings that they've published is in fact very scary, because a lot of the things that were happening, for example, increase in temperature or rising sea levels, we were actually given a certain amount of time, like, hey, maybe by 2050 you'll have this amount of rise in sea levels. However, because of all of the harm that we've managed to cause to the environment, to the planet in the past 3 years, which is basically ever since they published the report in 2019, ever since that happened, these rates have basically doubled and tripled. And that specific time that we were given to save the environment, well, that has reduced as well. So you can imagine and understand how scary it is. All right, so that's why it's important for you to take the necessary steps, for you to make sure that you understand what steps you need to take to actually make sure that you take the necessary steps to save the planet. All right, so let's very quickly run through some of the findings of the IPCC, because they basically said that, earlier I was saying how our greenhouse gas emissions have risen, which means that our climate, or rather the temperature, has risen, how our natural climate allies are weakening, and how they've actually found a new field called attribution science, which can basically determine how much of human influence an extreme weather condition has. All right, now, something else that we need to talk about is obviously about how sea levels have risen, right? From 1900 to right now, it has risen by 8 inches, right? Which is basically, and this rate of increase has in fact nearly tripled in the last decade, right? So, all of these crumbling and melting ice sheets that are on top of Antarctica and especially Greenland have actually replaced glacier melt as the main driver, all right? And even if we cap global warming at about 2 degrees Celsius, the ocean water mark will actually go up by half a meter over the 21st century. Okay, and this is just the 21st century, mind you. So, if we don't take those necessary steps, if we don't take the kind of steps that we need to take, what will essentially happen is that we will destroy our planet. And, all of these wildfires, all of these flash floods, all of these heat waves that we see happening in the world, especially the ones that are taking place in Greece right now, these are actually influenced by climate change. If it wasn't for climate change, some of these things actually wouldn't have happened. All right. And now there's something else that we need to talk about as well, because the IPCC actually talks about something called tipping points. All right. Which basically means that, there are, basically when you have the shifts in the climate system, when they're irreversible, when all of these changes that are irreversible happen, they're called tipping points, right? So basically, all of these disintegrating ice sheets that hold enough water to raise seas a dozen meters, even things like the melting of the permafrost that are laden with billions of tons of carbon, and the transition of Amazon from a tropical forest to a savanna is in fact all examples of how exactly climate change can happen. All right, so make sure you stay tuned, because obviously we have a lot to be talking about. But until then, make sure make sure you keep watching this space, because we're going to be talking about a lot of other interesting things as well. However, we're going to be heading into a small break right now, and we will be back to keep talking about all of this.
We've seen it, right? If an owner of a large public traded company does something wrong, irrelevant of what that company does or how valuable that company is, the stock generally falls into a pool of nothing, right? Because in a